lot.
And so you were big on Jaden Ivey, right? Earlier in this morning. So how has your mood changed since seeing that the Kings ended up going with Keegan with the 4th pick?
I try not to be super reactionary after I hear the draft pick, because I mean, I obviously with Bagley I was pretty reactionary. The Davion pick I was super surprised by. So I mean, I always like Keegan Murray. I talked about it when I came on earlier, and like Keegan Murray will do a lot of things for the Sacramento Kings, and I think that a lot of fans are being reactionary. A lot of fans are going like, "Oh my God, what do we do? This is a massive mistake," and I'm thinking, you know what, guys? I really don't think it's that big of a thing. Keegan Murray's going to do great. You guys will like Keegan Murray because he can do a lot of things on the basketball court that we need as a team. He's a good defender. He can defend, I think, 2 through 4. He's going to struggle with those quicker guards, those taller guys, but he's still a very good player, and he's going to fit great with Fox and Sabonis. And I mean, his ceiling is not what you want at number 4. That was kind of my biggest thing at taking him at 4. I wanted to trade down to 6 maybe, but I mean, he's still going to be great. He's still going to fit well, and I don't think this makes us a playoff team, but this is the first step. Keegan Murray will be great in the starting lineup. Keegan Murray will fit well with Sabonis and Fox, and I am very excited to see how Mike Brown will use him defensively, because I feel like he can fit in a lot of places. He can guard the 3, he can guard the 4. Very interested to see how the team will kind of like fit around him with the defensive scheme. But yeah, Keegan Murray's a great pick. I really don't see why guys are kind of upset about this.
So let me ask you this. There's so much talk about his ceiling, and he was a guy that has called himself a late bloomer, right? It's not like this guy was some highly touted prospect coming out of high school. He was coming off the bench at Iowa. It's not like he had a shit ton of Division I offers out there. Why do you think his ceiling is maybe not as high? Like what jumps out to you where you say that? And you're not the only one.
It's simply because his handle's not fantastic. I mean, if he develops the handle, if he can, create for himself, the ceiling just gets that much higher. If obviously creating for yourself is like one of the main things that makes a star. I was talking about this earlier, where almost every single star in the NBA can create for themselves. Yet they have that advantage creation ability. So like if Keegan Murray wants to surpass the ceiling that I think a lot of people have set for him, he needs to develop the handle. He needs to be able to create for himself, create off the ball. Because like a lot of what Keegan Murray shot, I mean, Keegan Murray obviously was a great scorer in college, but it was not a lot of advantage creation. He didn't have like a go-to move. He wasn't like making some cool step back. He wasn't creating off the dribble. It was a lot of shots where he would just like body into a guy, like shoot over and use his touch in the post. It wasn't like he wasn't creating space. He doesn't have a great burst. He doesn't create much space, I'm trying to say. It's more in like he would just use the strength and the fact that he's better with touch and scores well in transition, which is not exactly advantage creation. And if he can create space and become like a guy that can create his own shot more than just like using his frame and using the touch, that's kind of what I'm looking for. Because
can I just stop real fast? I just need to say something. I feel so grateful tonight that we have Bryant West, who does so much amazing work, and he's done it for years at the King's Herald. And then we have Praneel, this 16-year-old kid who has this amazing passion for the draft. And I'm not just saying this, Praneel. I knew the first time I talked to you that you knew what the hell you're talking about. Doesn't mean you're right. You could be wrong on things. We're all wrong. But I seriously can't say enough how impressed I am with you and your passion and how much you just like are obsessed with breaking this down. And you come at it in a very fair way.
That's exactly what I was going to say as well. Is just the way that you come at it so fair, where just like you said, before you came on here, you're seeing so many fans, and you're a fan as well of the Sacramento Kings, just being so reactionary, so black or white, and not really breaking down what this pick can do. But what we can break down too and criticize is that, I wish that they could have gotten Keegan Murray, traded down to get Keegan Murray, but we don't know what was going behind the scenes. I just really dig your approach to all of this, and your breakdowns have just been phenomenal all day. So thank you.
Yeah, no problem. I love talking sports. It's awesome.
No, I can tell. It's a big thing. I want to ask you one more thing about Keegan Murray, because you brought up the defense. You really like him defensively. Some people have been mixed on maybe what he can be at the next level defensively. Do you think his primary position's the 4? I know you said he could defend maybe the 3 and 2 in some circumstances, but do you look at him primarily as a 4 in the NBA?
All right. So with Keegan Murray, he's I think 6'8", so a lot of 4s I think are a bit. He's a bit undersized, I'd say. I mean, he's more of a combo forward. He's a bit of a tweener when it comes to like being a 3 or a 4. But I feel like with his length, he's pretty lengthy. I think he's like a 6'11" wingspan. I think it's 6'11", I'm not sure, and I think that his biggest trait is his IQ. His IQ will allow him to defend a couple positions higher. He knows his positioning. He makes good reads. He's good at playing one pass away. He's good at playing help. And I mean, I was actually listening earlier. Bryant said that he doesn't think that Keegan will be that. I don't think he said Keegan won't be that great of a defender, but he'll be a little bit worse than he was in college. I sort of disagree with that. I think Keegan will be better than what he was in college because of his lack of offensive workload. And he doesn't have to do as much offensively. He's going to be more of like a catch and shoot 3-point type of guy, maybe a bit cutting off the ball, transition score, obviously, but he's not going to have that offensive workload where he has to put the team on his back. That's going to be for Fox and Sabonis to take care of. Whereas Keegan Murray can focus defensively, improve defensively, play good team defense. And I think he has the IQ, he just has that capability, I think, defensively to be good on that side of the ball, better than what he was in college, especially last year.
One thing that the chat has brought up many times, and we've seen this throughout, there's been this kind of Keegan Murray, Harrison Barnes comparison. What do you say about that? I could tell by your face you disagree.
I'd say that, I mean, at first glance, I think I see why they're saying that Keegan Murray reminds them of Harrison Barnes. It's kind of like the same slow-moving post moves, the same nice touch, the same kind of like old man type of speed in the post, and obviously good shooter, good defensively. But I think Keegan Murray's a better defender than Harrison Barnes is. And Harrison Barnes has sort of lost his step though, so I kind of get why they're making that comparison, because obviously in the Warriors days he was a much better defender than he is now. But I think that Murray's ability to just I feel like Murray's a better scorer than Barnes ever was. And I mean, Murray has the capability to be a better scorer than Barnes ever was. And I think that idea, that ceiling that I have with Murray is better than what Barnes is right now. So I think that Murray's a better defender. Murray has the capability of being a better scorer. Murray can probably be a better shooter. And I mean, I feel like they're tempering their expectations by just calling him Barnes. I mean, it's like they're kind of like saying, oh, he's going to be Harrison Barnes. And then I feel like Kings fans are being reactionary there, but I don't really agree with that. I feel like he's just going to be a better player than Barnes is. And I mean, I love Harrison Barnes. He's a consummate pro, but I feel like Keegan Murray has the capability of being better than that.